Welcome. This is James Corbett of The Corbett Report.
And this is James Evan Pilato of MediaMonarchy.com, and we both welcome you to another jam-packed episode of The New World Next Week, which of course you can find at newworldnextweek.com. And as always, we'd like to thank ParadigmShift.tv for getting this shown on Sky Satellite Channel 201. And a huge thanks to everyone out there who helps share and spread the word about New World Next Week. James, we will begin with, I think, a great way to begin this episode in honor of the new launch of one of your newest ventures, and that is FukushimaUpdate.com. And we'll take a recent piece from there, over 20 radioactive hotspots found near Tokyo. And we have more reporting from the New York Times and Voice of America, as well as Washington'sBlog.com. Tokyo and the adjoining city of Yokohama were found to contain hotspots with very high levels of radiation, and all of the hotspots were originally found by citizens using Geiger counters because the government wasn't really testing. The New York Times reported, quote, "The patch of ground was one of more than 20 spots in and around the nation's capital that the Citizens Group and the respected nuclear research center they worked with found were contaminated with potentially harmful levels of radioactive cesium," end quote. And Voice of America also noted, quote, "While the news about high levels of radiation found at one of Tokyo's ballpark complex had been reported overseas, including on the front page of the New York Times, it had yet to be mentioned at all in Japan's mainstream media." James, you also on FukushimaUpdate.com have a related video that comes from an interview the Wall Street Journal conducted with Japan's Minister of Education and Science, addressing the alarming issue of the recently discovered radioactive hotspots in Tokyo and other areas far from the Fukushima nuclear plant. So I will hand it back to you, James, to discuss this story as well as anything you may want to add about FukushimaUpdate.com.
Right. Well, in that Minister of Education interview, he is asked about the health effects of these hotspots, and he says, well, the experts agree that there's nothing to worry about because no one's going to stand in the same spot all day. So there you go. I guess that's the official word, and I suppose that probably is true if it really is only isolated to a few hotspots here and there. But as you point out, the citizens are finding these hotspots with their Geiger counters. It's not the government that's actually doing this testing, and just the citizens themselves have been finding hotspot after hotspot. And I just had a chance to talk to Arnie Gunderson about this very topic, and I guess that video will probably be up by the time you're watching this video. So I hope you check that out. But basically, yes, he says these hotspots are probably not new, not signs of new radiation. Probably they've been there for a long time, but that's even more worrying in a way because these hotspots are there, and no one's the government isn't finding them or isn't reporting on them if they are finding them at any rate. Probably even more important than this is the story that also went up on FukushimaUpdate.com recently about iodine-131 that's been being found in gutters, in soil, in gutters in Tokyo, which indicates that there might be recriticality going on in the Fukushima slag heap, aka the reactors, because iodine-131 has a half-life of 8 days. So if there's new iodine-131 cropping up, then it's being produced from somewhere. So that's an extremely worrying story, and one that I haven't seen getting a lot of attention. So I hope people take a look at that. And yes, thank you for mentioning, yes, FukushimaUpdate.com, my newest website. I really hope people are checking it on a daily basis. I really am trying to put up everything I can possibly find on Fukushima, and that will include things from all perspectives and all sides of this issue. I don't have a dog in this fight, and I'm not trying to prove a point. I'm really just trying to make this an information resource about everything that's being posted about Fukushima at this time.
And you are now on Twitter at Fukushima Update as well. And that is FukushimaUpdate.com. And that is FukushimaUpdate.com.
To prove a point, I'm really just trying to make this an information resource about everything that's being posted about Fukushima at this time. Welcome. This is James Corbett of the Corbett Report. An information resource about everything that's being posted about Fukushima at this time. Welcome. This is James Corbett of the Corbett Report. Fukushima, 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 Fukushima. Welcome. This is James Corbett of the Corbett Report. Welcome. This is James Corbett of the Corbett Report. To prove a point, I'm really just trying to make this an information resource about everything that's being posted about Fukushima at this time.